Hey guys, that's another PvP. So this is a PvP on Fighting Spirit again. This is pretty much same matchup, same map as the last video. So I'll probably go over the same stuff again, just because it's the first video, so I'll probably ruin it a lot by tripping over my words. But it should be a lot easier this time for me to explain stuff, since this is the second time. So same again, PvP Fighting Spirit. Spawns don't really matter, to be honest. Like, you can spawn anywhere and it's the same. Starting off, the things you have to watch out for is in PvP, you want to watch for at the start of the game, you want to watch out for 2 gates and quick reaver drops, because the map's quite small. It's not big or small, I should say. It's quite a medium to small size, but it's small enough that a 2 gate can be very powerful. You can 2 gate in his base, and it's not an on, it's just a really heavy pressure build, and if you're not ready for it, it'll do way too much damage and you'll lose. You can proxy a 2 gate. Probe in the middle of the map, really easy. If he even feels like you're a superior player in every way, and just so you beat this guy 3 times in a row, he can guess where you're going to spawn and even proxy at your third. So say I'm top right, say he spawned bottom right. He could, just say he's bottom right, I'm top right. He could proxy the third base in between us. And it's so fat, it's a guess from him, it's a 33% chance that he'll get correct. But if you feel like you're going to definitely lose off the player, then the 33% chance, you may as well take it. And you can easily win. If I 1 gate and he 2 gate proxies at my third, the distance is too close, I'll lose. But that's strategy games, sometimes percentages come into this, and it's a big thing in tournaments and stuff, but I'll not get into that. And, talking about the reavers, because the map's quite small, reavers can transfer to get into your base very quickly. You have quite a, not a large main, but a medium sized main, so the reaver can be in your mineral line before you know it. And that's why it's good in PvP on Fighting Spirit. Especially in every match in PvP. Depends on the map, to be honest, but especially on this size of map, you want pylons around your base. As soon as you see that shot flying for the drop, you can instantly transfer your probes. And you should transfer your probes using the camera hotkeys, which is F1, F2, F3. So it's Shift F2, and it instantly hotkeys the location you're looking at. So you put F1 over your main base, F3 or F2 over your natural, and as soon as you see a shuttle, before it's even dropped the reavers, just say it comes out of the main. You see it on the map, hit F1, drag F3 for the natural, just say F3 was natural, and right click on the mineral field. And within half a second you've transferred all your probes. And when the reaver lands, there's nothing there. That's a very important thing in PvPs to remember, is to use the location hotkeys. Yeah, that's pretty much what you look for Fighting Spirit. Just another thing about the reaver drops is your natural's got a cliff that you can't really see above it, so a reaver can instantly drop, because he can sit above the cliff and see your whole natural, and you can't see above the cliff. So that's even another reaver. And that bit where I talked about the proxy location for the 2 gate, he can even proxy a reaver there, a robotics bay and a robo facility. And the reaver is so quick on your base that you won't have a reaver in time. You have to be careful for stuff like this. But back to the game, there's something very important, as I've seen. As I'm transferring around his base, you see I'm researching Dragoon range. He's not. You see it there? That's 150 gas he's saving. What that means is he's gone DTs. Like, he's just showed me he's gone DTs. So the way he should have done this is, usually if you want to go DTs, you have to research air weapons. There's only 100 gas, and then you cancel it as soon as the probe leaves the base. So that's where he's messed up. I know he's gone DTs. And like I've talked about styles before, my favourite style in PvP is a free gate, a non-robo free gate. But because you get 2 styles, you get the robo free gate with observer and just the free gate no observer. The free gate no observer is a lot stronger. There's me cancelling my gateway. It's a lot stronger, but it's safer because you get a observer. Because with free gate you lose to DTs. So I'm going to play what pros usually do, which is I'm going to go a free gate robo bay and get a observer. Makes the rush a lot weaker, but still getting after dragoons, getting observers, won't die to DTs. And I know he's going to DT, it's 100% DTs. But that's what that means. If you see his core not spinning, it's DTs. And what's good about it, the air weapons is only 100 gas, and dragoon range is 150. So you can cancel, like, it's cheaper to start and you get more gas, because when you cancel you don't get all your full resources back. So if you done gun range and then cancel it, you would lose like more gas. But talking about different styles, just when I was mentioning about free gate, PvP is a coin flipping matchup. There's like 4 builds that most people use, and they all either give you a great advantage or straight up beat you. So I'll go over that. So a free gate build, which is a very heavy pressure build, beats a Protoss fast expanding. A Protoss fast expanding beats a safe Protoss player. A safe Protoss player, which usually has a Reaver and Observer, beats DTs, and DTs beat Frigate. Like I said, there's slight variations in them all, because when you fast expand, you don't have to throw the Nexus down first. You can throw the gateway, then the Nexus, 2 gates, then the Nexus. What's the different way of doing it? But the Frigate, your Frigate, oh look, he's coming there. So this is a... You'll find that DT players as well will push, just to make it look like they're being aggressive. But he lost, he's lost a Zealot there. Oh, there's my Observer. See, he's been really cheeky. He wants me to chase him, and he wants a DT to come, but I know it's DTs. I'm so confident it's DTs. Here comes the Observer. Oh yes, spoiler alert, since it is DTs. And there's me. It's good practice, putting pylons around the radius of the base. I know he's not going Reavers, but you never know, it could be a Storm drop later on. So the plan is to push across. You need 2 Observers though, because he can sneak DTs into my main. He probably wants to do that. So I've got 1 Observer with my main army, and I've got 1 Observer in the base. And I have... I'm going to build some Dragoons and leave them at my main base with another Observer, just to protect me from DTs that come. See, there's not... I'm going to leave... Oh, am I taking all them? Okay. Bit risky by me, but I'm going to try and force my way up. See, I can see the DT wave there, and my Observer's not there. And he's got a lot of units. It's quite a weird build from him. I don't think he's a really good player. He pushes with 2 DTs and a bunch of Dragoons. It's quite weird. So I'm just going to contain him and then kite back. Oh, here he comes. I should have brought more Dragoons at north. See, there's the DTs, I'm getting scared. So I'm just going to kite back this army. This is weird, I don't know what's going on. If you go DTs in PvP, and he's going to Observer, and he's not going to get damaged with DTs. You just need to expand, and even double expand, take a giant risk. If you go DTs and get no damage, you're probably going to lose. So this is a weird build by him, pushing with the Dark Templars, I'll just kill them. So as you can see, I'm just retreating. There's not much for me to explain here, I can end the game. I've got Frigates, and he's went DTs and I've got Observers. I just need to have a battle where I trade efficiently, and then I can push. So here's probably the I'm just going to do some simple wee micro pulling back Dragoons that are quite weak. See, look, now I've got 8 Dragoons versus 3. So that's on it today. I just need to pressure him. If he's got loads of units, I'll just fall back. And if I've got an Observer at his base, if it looks like he's not got many units, pressure again. I'm taking a base. I know he can't take the base, so I'll straight up kill him. He has to build units. This game is in the bag, as you would say. I should have this game. Oh, there it is, the DT. As I told you, he was obviously going to do that. So I left another Observer and Dragoons behind, but it's not a big deal. Let's not get do nothing. Think about it. That's a risk by him, because I've caught. That's a lot of gas, a lot of minerals. He could have used that on 2 extra Dragoons to help him defend. Could have been cannons. And a controversial thing that makes him seem like not another good player, he's now massing speed zealots. To be honest, I have lost to this type of play before where they've massed speed zealots, and I'm not surprised. I've not expected it, I've lost. But I know, as you can see, he's not expanding, so I just need to weather the storm. I just need to keep kiting these zealots as best I can. Because zealots are actually very strong versus Dragoons. Dragoons are actually a pretty bad unit when you think about it. They're only really good versus mechanical units. As zealots do way more DPS than Dragoons, and they're tankier. And Dragoons do half the damage to zealots. So there's that pylon up front, I spoke about it before. The pylon up front will cause the AI of his units to attack the pylon, not his Dragoons. This is just some simple kiting. You should always be pulling the weak Dragoons back, pretty easy stuff. This is his last ditch effort, because he's seen I have a Nexus, and I've stopped him getting Nexus just by going over the map, seeing he's got too much, then retreating, then getting more army and going across the map. So he knows he's behind. So it's now, I think I can comfortably win the game now, because this is 2 bases. All we need to do now is, if you're in this situation where you've definitely won, your Nexus finished, you've got Probe on it, he doesn't have a Nexus in PvP, you can either do a Reaver push, or you can do a big 6 gate attack. But they're your 2 main options just to end the game. It's quite hard to end the game in Brood War, but they're your 2 best options. I actually get quite scared here when I attack an enemy. There's surprisingly a lot of speed zealots. I'm like, Jesus man, look at all these speed zealots. Because obviously these zealots would instantly destroy me. In a straight up fight versus other Dragoons if I never kite. So in this situation I just have to keep kiting, pulling the weak Dragoons back. Pretty simple stuff. I'm rallying zealots, that's all I really need to be honest. 8 Dragoons is enough if he's just massing zealots. I just need to look at that. Evaporating, there's the GG. kinda weird game in the sense that like I don't feel like he was super good. Like he wasn't like an amazingly good player. But the DT rush is always going to win. That's the whole point. It's in PvP. There's a lot of builds that just instantly beat other builds. So if you're new to the game, do the DT rush in PvP. You'll win quite a lot of games, to be honest. And at lower levels, most players go DTs as well. So even you can even expect, like if you're low MMR, you can just assume he's going DTs and just play safe. Just get him 0. You'll probably win most of your games. But anyway, there's not a lot to say in that game. Just overall final thoughts about it. Simple game, like, as I've said, I like to free-gate Dragoon. With no observer, I like to really heavy pressure and take a base. But I've seen he wasn't researching anything on the core. That always suggests Dark Templars. You just have to... So I just changed the free-gate into a free-gate observer. Makes the build a lot weaker, like for pressuring, but I get the observer, I'm safe. And that was it. It was simple. As soon as you get the observer and you see DTs, just take the base. Keep pressuring him. He doesn't have as good units as you, he'll have less Dragoons. Dragoons can kite Dark Templars. Make sure that you've got 2 observers, so when you're pressuring, you've got another one back at your main, and leave some units there. He will always try and sneak a Dark Templar, like, into your main base. Just keep pressuring, delay his second base as long as possible. If you can't even find yourself not delaying the second base that much, you'll find you can usually just do a 2 base all in, just a Reaver push or a 6-gate Mascoon. But if you can't, then just play the late game after that. You should still be ahead at all times if he goes DTs and gets no damage. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I'll see you later.